Y'all, for real, I am of the belief that I am gonna like Power Book 4 with Tommy more than I've liked any other of the series. I think he is the best, his cast is the best, and it's gonna be a lot going on. Y'all ready to talk about it? Just cue the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my key.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We here to discuss Power Book 4, Force, Tommy, Egan. You know what it's hitting for. Stop acting crazy. Y'all know what it's hitting for. Come on now, let's go, Tommy. Listen, in my opinion, Tommy has always been my favorite character. I always have these back and forths with my friends like, hey, if you had to pick one person to be on your team, who would you pick? A lot of people pick Ghost, but I'm rolling with Tommy. Been rolling with him. Because Tommy don't care about nothing and nobody. I loves me some Tommy. But let's get right into the first episode because this is the series premiere. So the episode opens up, Tommy is driving. He's on his way out of town from the last episode of the last series when he had to damn near, go running behind Tyreek to pop him upside the head and almost pop Tasha too. But she down there at the witness protection. So he's driving out of town because he got to go because if the people catch him, it's going down. All of a sudden, as he's reminiscing and playing through his head his stuff with his best friend, meaning Ghost, Lakeisha, her son being with the dad, like he's just replaying all of this stuff in his head and it's made him go manic basically. So he's just like, you know what, screw it. He turns off the headlights and he starts speeding down the road because he's just like, I'm ready to end it all. It just so happened by the time he comes to, he realized, I'm not going to do that. But he almost crashed. But the thing is, he crashes at a fork in the road. And I think that's very important, this fork in the road. There's a lot of symbolism in this episode. But he crashes at this fork in the road. And one way is Chicago and another way is another way. He's supposed to be on his way to meet this drug dealer. I believe his name is, I don't know what his name, Rudolph or something like that. So he decides, you know what? I'm going to take a detour down here to Chicago. So he does that. And he lets the guy know, look, I know I'm coming. I'm on my way. Chill out. We good. Because the guy's hitting him up like, where the hell you at? So now, he says he's on the way, but he's got to make this pit stop. And he looks at this picture. When he gets there, he's in front of this house. At first, I assumed it was the mom's crib, but it wasn't. So he's in front of this house. He's looking at this picture. And then this man come banging on the car and was just like, yo, you parking in my spot. You got to get up out of here or pay a fee. And Tommy was like, bro, I'm not giving you nothing. All of a sudden, the dude and Tommy ensues into a fight or whatever it was. It wasn't even a fight. They just kind of like, Tommy gets out the car like, bro, who do you think you talking to? Because, Tommy is that dude, whether you want to believe it or not. So basically, the dude pulls a knife out and Tommy shows his gun. The dude's just like, oh shit. And Tommy just slapped the hell out of him. Like, bro, stop playing in my face. You got me messed up. He asked where the old lady at, or where did they bury the old lady who lived in his house. And the guy was just like, she ain't buried. She down there at the old folks home. Minehurst or whatever it is. And Tommy was just like, what? Like, what is going on? So Tommy leaves that situation. He arrives to this place, which it is an old elderly facility. I don't want to say old folks home. I know that's not, the thing. And he sees this older woman in this wheelchair, and all of a sudden his eyes bright up. Now I know it's not his mom. So what we find out later is it's his grandmother. So that's his grandmother. He sees her, but he's just like, you know what? Let me, not do this. The next scene comes up. There's this inmate. He's in jail, and he's cutting his final head because he's about to get out. He's cutting this dude's head, and this dude was like, bro, you taking too slow. What's going on? And he was just like, look, man, I'm just trying to make sure, everything's good. This is my last cut. And he was just like, yeah, bro, I get it. But you get up out of here and don't look back at the end of the day. I feel like he's the boss in there because when he leaves that guy, he walk back to his cell and everybody like booting him up, and how we say it in New Orleans, or knuck if you buck, whatever. Everybody look like they got a problem with him, like they mad. But he's about to get out of jail, so it makes sense. So the inmates tell each other, look, we gonna let him live right now, but when it's time for him to get up out of here, we gonna go ahead on and pop him upside the head, because he's doing too much. So I'm like, oh, he must be a big timer, and he fine. Ooh, I think his name Diamond. Ooh, Diamond is my favorite character so far. So I like me some Diamond. We move on. Tommy goes to a bar. He meets this pretty girl. He asks for shots of Jameson. She gives him the shots. A beautiful black woman. And he was like, I smell what's going on in the kitchen back there. It smells good. Tommy tells her, which was a great, listen, I was just like, ooh, Tommy. Tommy was just like, he eat everything, but he just liked to eat. And I was just like, say less. Ooh, Tommy, you know you look like a boss. He asked for the soup, but she hollered the kitchen is closed. Now I'm just like, well, what the hell is going on? We move on to the next scene. Diamond is getting out, and the guard asks to buy his Jordan. So Diamond has these shoes. I guess they worth a lot of money. I don't know nothing about shoes like that, so please don't judge me. But the dude was like, I'll get these off of you for $150. And Diamond was just like, nah, bro. These cost way more than $150. Because the dude wanted to buy them off StockX. You know, that's the same place Kanye, Kim Kardashian cousin wants to buy them Yeezys. But he was just like, yeah, nah, these worth more than $150. So he ends up getting ready to leave, but he also ends up, because the guard tells him, listen, bro, like, stay up, don't come back in here, you know, make sure you out there, you do well, just basically don't come back. Which is a great thing, because typically in these type of settings, the guard or the CO are typically like dirty to the people, but for some odd reason, they're really, really good with him. And so out of good faith, he ends up giving him the shoes. And I thought that was nice, you know, why not? Just give him the shoes. So he gave him the shoes. And he says, he gets out. His brother is there to meet him. His brother, I can't remember his name, but his brother is there to meet him. And he was just like, you finally out. He bends down to pick up some snow. And his brother was like, you act like you never seen snow before. Like, what the hell? It don't snow on that side of the wall. And he was like, it's just different. The next scene comes. Tommy is outside smoking. He's leaning on his car. It was a car. It wasn't an SUV. They pull up. And the guys was like, you got to move your car, bro. You at my spot. And Tommy was like, what is with everybody in parking around here? Like, what's going on? So the guy was just like, you got to get up out of here. And Tommy was like, I'm not moving my shit. These two dudes jump out of the front seat, and they ready to basically cancel Christmas on time. And I was like, we can't do that. We just started. Tommy, you know, he with the shits. He don't run from no trouble. He actually run to it. So Tommy was just like, what y'all trying to do? This guy in the backseat rolls the window down and tell one of the guys, and he says, listen, you go in and handle your business. Leave it alone, like, or whatever. So Tommy is just like, man, look, y'all got me messed up. And the dude tells Tommy, he was just like, you barking up the wrong tree, basically, is what you're doing. So we move to the next scene. Doug walks in, or, I forget his name, but he walks in, and Claudia is sitting in his chair. So, okay, the father of these people, meaning the guys who rolled up on him and told him move the car, he's the father. He's this big-time Irish kingpin. I want to say his name is Doug. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but I want to say his name is Doug. He walks in and his daughter Claudia is sitting in the chair. And he was just like, oh, you sitting in my chair, you like sitting there. Basically, you look very comfortable. The problem is she wants to run the operation. She wants to actually get out there and get her hands dirty. He walks over to her and he grabs her hands and he was like, what can you do with these hands? Like, let the men handle it. Your brothers are handling everything. You are fine. I thought that it was a good scene because a lot of women are able to do a lot of things, but typically, I guess, in the mob life, women are not supposed to do anything. I mean, I guess. Like, so the dad was just like, you doing too much. Like, I like where your brother Vic is going. Let him do it. They have it under control. So he asked her about the books, and she was like, they're fine. He said, yeah, I know they always fine because you do so well with that. And she basically wants him to depend on her more. He says he can't do nothing with her because she's a female, and I think that's so messed up, but let's move on. Oh, before we move on, he tells her, it's not women's work. I need you to do your job and look after me. So basically, he wants his daughter to stick with him and be, I guess, at his beck and call. I don't know, whatever he feel like women should be doing. So the next scene, this guy comes and tells Tommy that the way he handled himself that he liked the way he handled himself and gives him a car. So the guy that's in the back seat from the guys who basically was trying to fight Tommy about a parking spot, he gets out the back seat and was just like, look, I like the way you handled yourself, but you don't really know who you messing with. You might want to dip up out of here because this ain't going to get pretty. But you know, Tommy's with the shit. Tommy was just like, yeah, I see what you're saying. So he asked Tommy if he's coming or going. Tommy was like, maybe both. And he was like, you don't want to piss off the Flint family. So now we know that the guy's last name or the family's last name that run that area is the Flint family. Tommy was like, you telling me that like I know them. I don't know them. He tells Tommy, look, you don't want to stick around to find out. Next scene, Claudia is talking to Vic about telling his father about their relationship. So Claudia is the black girl. Vic is the Flint son. Vic is the big guy's, the top Irish mob dude. That's his son. So she's like, are you going to tell your dad about us? And he was just like, listen, just give it a while. I'm going to tell him. But I believe that he's not telling his father because she's black. Y'all know how it is when y'all have those, well, when people have their cultures outside of black people, everybody wants to stick only with their culture. So I get it. I have no issue with it at all, actually. So he's stalling, telling his dad that he's dating her or he's with her. But you can tell he really likes her. She was like, look, I can't stick around to, for a long time to figure out what the hell you're going to do. He says, look, I gotta go. He gets up and he tells his guy at the end of the bar, look, make sure nobody messes with her. And, make sure you keep your eye on her. Don't get too drunk. Make sure you keep your eye on her. Dude says good. Tommy is in there. And the dude, I'm sorry. So when the guy was walking out, he tells Tommy, you better get up out of town because it's really not going to look pretty for you. The next scene, Tommy goes back in the bar. And he orders, he didn't order a drink. She just gives him a shot of rum. She was just like, I make the decisions. Here you go. I like that. She a boss. So she noticed that this lady is having an issue with this guy on the other end of the bar. And she goes over there to kind of like get him together. Like, hey, you got to get the hell up out of here. And the dude was just like, look, you need to leave me alone. But she handled it really, really well. So Tommy notices this. And Tommy was just like, Tommy goes out back. Before that, I'm sorry. Tommy asked for the menu. She was like, look, the menu is just for doggone kicks and giggles. I'm going to give you what I want you to eat. And I was just like, ooh, she freaky. She nasty. I like her. So Tommy sees the dude go out back and he follows him. And he's out there snorting in on the phone, snorting some cocaine now. And Tommy was just like, oh, he basically a crackhead. Tommy tells the guy, listen, I know you don't like Tom Brady, and honestly, he could eat a you-know-what, but Larry Bird is a legend. Tommy commits to beating his ass. The girl comes out there, and she was just like, oh, like, what the hell? And he asked her, is this going to blow back on you? And she was just like, nope, it ain't going to blow back on me. This is on you. So Tommy was just like, bet, well, let me get up out of here. I got to go. He goes, let me get up out of here. I gotta go. I'm sorry, I was reading my notes. And she was just like, nah, it's time for you to eat. Come get your soup. They end up having a sex scene. And let me tell you something. Because on Power Book 2 with Lil Tariq, I don't really be caring about them sex scenes. Unless y'all putting Method Man in a sex scene, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I ain't trying to find it. But baby, when Tommy got in that sex scene, with that girl, Claudia, come on now, Tommy. You be whipping and working and whipping. I was here for it. That sex scene was good. But they got another better one coming up. Let's move on. So we in this nightclub, child. Claudia is in the nightclub. She goes to this bartender. He gives her this shot or whatever it is she wants. And she takes this drink. But he was like, you need to drink this slowly. This is like some expensive type of, whatever. And she was like, I do what the hell I want to do. She sees this girl dancing in the distance, and somehow this club scene was so lit to me because you can literally see her like gazing at this girl. The light was hitting her body, the silhouette and all of that stuff. So she goes over to this girl, they dancing. The girl gives her a bump of, I want to say it's coke, but I don't think it is. It's something else. She takes it and they in this like daze, like they dancing like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. She asked the girl if she has more, and the girl was just like, I got you. The next scene, Tommy is done with having his night with Claudia. and he noticed they had dog tags on the counter or on the dresser or whatever it was, and he goes, you served? And she was just like, no, basically my husband served. And Tommy was just like, she said, but he went off and never came back. So apparently her husband died overseas, possibly in an environment that, wasn't the best. So Tommy mentions the wrong people always die, and then he started having flashbacks to all the wrong people he felt like died, i.e. Lakeisha and all that stuff. He asked her if she likes marriage, and then she's like, yeah, I like it. She was just like, but I don't really know if I really like it for sure, because I never had a chance to really get into it. We weren't married that long. So Tommy's just like, bet. He gets this text and he has to leave. The next scene, the dude from in the car earlier called his phone. Tommy is calling this guy's phone. He's trying to get in touch with him, but he sees that it's the phone number of the guy he had the issue with, Vic. So he's just like, I got you. So Tommy, hears his phone ringing. He runs up on him and was just like, you need to introduce me to your connect. Vic is just like, do you really know who you messing with while you out here? Like, you tripping, bro. And Tommy was like, do you think I care? You need to introduce me to your connect. They get down there. Tommy got this man at gunpoint. He asked him, how many people are you expecting to be there? He was just like, 2. But it turns out when he gets there, it's Tommy, the guy he has at gunpoint, Vic, Flint, and then there's Diamond's brother, the one who picked him up from jail, from CBI. He runs that clique. And then they got these 2 little, young, look like dope heads. Like, they just want to get high, whatever. High all the time. It just kind of give me that type of music that they listening to while they get high. You know what I'm saying? So Tommy was just like, what the F? Everybody's looking at each other like, what the hell is going on? Like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be meeting up with the Connect. So Tommy was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, what's really going on? These 2 guys get nervous and they pull out guns, but they like shaking. Tommy was like, oh shit, this your first bid. And the guys were just like, the young guys that are doped up, they were just like, no, you need to get out of here. Give me the money. Give me the drugs. Da, 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 da. And Tommy was just like, come on, bro. So a shootout ensues. Tommy ends up shooting one of the guys. I don't know if he shot him, but all I know is one of them is standing there and he goes to shoot and he's out of bullets. Tommy was like, bro, you don't know how many guns is in your, you don't know how many bullets is in your gun. I can count them. Now, I know you're out of bullets, but I have 3 left in this one. So he shoots him once, in the leg, I believe it was. Then he shoots him again, and he was like, don't make me use this last one. I thought this is the Tommy, the classic Tommy that I love and need. I love this point. So he ends up killing the dude. But when he ends up killing the dude, the CBI brother, I can't remember his name, God forgive me, but he talks to Vic and he's like, you gotta pay this man, like, cause Tommy says, look, I paid these dudes, I saved y'all life, I need a fee. Diamond's brother says, Vic, you need to pay him out of your money because basically this is what it is. They go back and forth. Vic ended up paying Tommy the money, but Tommy was like, I'm taking the drugs too. Because, that's how bad Tommy do. That's how he roll. And ain't nobody gonna pop him. Period. So we moved to the next scene. He took the bag of drugs and he's got the money. We moved to the next scene. Diamond and his brother are walking down the block. So they down the block, reminiscing or whatever. And Diamond asked him why he's still dealing with the Flint gang. The brother is just like, listen, all this stuff popped off last night. There's this white dude that came in who ended up saving our lives but ended up robbing us at the same time. It was crazy. I don't know where this dude from. Never seen him before. All I know is all this shit went down and it's crazy. So Diamond is just like, look, I get it, but I don't want this life no more. Like, I ain't trying to do all this. He on his Tyreek. I'm out the game. And from this moment on, any person who tell me they out the game, I automatically be like, oh, you gonna be in it for life. And my call to be for life. You gonna be in it for life, child. You ain't going nowhere. Stop the cap. So he wants to get out of the game, but his brother is just like, no, I'm staying in. I'm trying to get on my BS. So Diamond asks about Tommy taking the drugs. He tells him about that. We move to the next scene. Claudia is talking to Vic about the drugs and that she likes the coke. they was just like, okay, we're going to find that and see what's going on. And they started talking and reminiscing about their mom. I guess their mom is either no longer here or not with them. I can't really remember. But they started to talk about their mom. The next scene, Tommy is researching the Flynn family, and he's also researching Diamond because he wants to know who the hell is these people. So he find out who Diamond is. Diamond is this guy, I guess. He was supposed to go off, I don't know if it was to the military or somewhere else. He was supposed to go do something, but when his brother went to jail, he took on to the street life. And the Flynn family basically run that whole thing. So now Tommy knows who it is. He gets this text, and he's getting ready to leave. He goes back to the old folks' home, and he sees the old lady. The old lady, which is his grandmother. So he goes, and he says, do you remember me? He pulls out this photo. He's like, Grandma, do you remember me? He don't call her grandmother. He calls her, I can't remember what he called her, but he was like, do you remember me? She sees the letters or the writing in, I don't know, whatever language it was, and she remembers him for a second, but then she kind of goes back into maybe, I don't know if it's dementia or whatever it is. Tommy was just like, all right, bet. Tommy gets ready to leave, and he's walking out. He can feel somebody behind him that's basically walking behind him. So Tommy pulls his gun and turns around and was just like, what the hell? The guy was like, listen, who are you? Because Tommy goes, who the hell are you? Who sent you? The guy was like, no. Who are you? Because nobody comes and visit her except me. So who are you? And Tommy goes, that's my grandmother. And now we into a whole nother thing. They standing on the side of the car. Tommy says he hadn't seen her since he was 4, and his mom basically says that she was dead. He shows this guy this pic because the guy don't really believe that, like, they're in all that. That's my grandmother and that's your grandmother too. You black, I'm white. Let me tell you what it is. Kate, she was out here as a Rolling Stone doing what she want to do and did it. She was out here getting that dark meat. Then had a baby and sent it off to the grandma and told Tommy that the grandma was dead, so he can't go find who his brother is. So now Tommy got a black brother. I like that. I like that they, shook up the cast a little bit by giving Tommy a brother. Because in this sense, now Tommy will really have somebody like he could really deal with and care for because he had actual blood relatives and family. So the guy was just like, oh man, like I've heard about Kate, but I never, really got a chance to deal with her. Tommy was like, listen, I did, and you actually are blessed to not have to deal with Kate. Kate, as is crazy, count your blessings. I'm telling you right now, you ain't miss out on nothing. So Tommy is really upset that his mom lied, that his grandmother is living. Like, you told me all these years that she was dead, but she was actually living. He said, my whole life was a lie. The black guy says that his dad raised him, and he always would ask about his mom, but he never really got much information. Again, Tommy tells him you got a head on this when they exchange numbers. And Tommy says she's not dead, but you ought to be glad that you didn't have to deal with her. I think that that's powerful. Because I believe that Kate, Tommy's mom, has always been wild at 5, live at 5, whatever you want to call it. So it makes sense that she would have an illegitimate child, especially a black child. And she sends the child away because, it was frowned upon, I'll say that, to just have children out of your race. So we move on to the next scene. Diamond's brother Diamond and his brother are walking through the neighborhood and they get to this barbershop. Apparently that's where they used to lease or rent the spot, the booth or whatever it was. His brother, Diamond, is feeling so much nostalgia. He was just like, yo, I'm so glad they kept the place up. This is nice. This is lit. Like, I'm so ready to get back. The brother was like, well, we're no longer tenants now. We're owners. And Diamond was just like, oh, you bought the place? And he was just like, no, you own it. You bought it. Hands him the keys. Diamond is just like, oh, snap. And I think this is a good start for Diamond because he wants to go clean. So now he'll be able to work at the shop, do his thing or whatever the case, and stay out of trouble. Remember, he's out the life. Diamond's brother says, this is where CBI came from. I couldn't help but to buy this spot. Diamond says, all this popping off has got to change. This is not CBI. And Diamond says he's done killing people. And the brother was just like, yeah, all right, but I'm going to take you out to the club tonight. I ain't see that scene, but I wish I would have. Tommy is at this gas station and he pulls out the brother's number because the brother gave him a number on a piece of paper. Tommy ends up throwing the number away because he was just like, yeah, this is some bullshit. But I think he felt guilty about it and he realized, hey, this is my only family. Tommy goes back to the garbage can and retrieves the number. all the time, this whole drug dealer dude, whoever he is, he's calling him like, where the hell you at? And Tommy was like, bro, I told you I'm coming, like, chill. Back at the barber shop, Diamond is in there, you know, situating stuff, and this guy walks in. The guy walks in and goes, oh, he was like, the guy walks in, and Diamond says, hey, bro, we not open yet, so, you know, whenever we open, you can come back then. The guy ends up saying, oh, okay, but he sits down anyway. He asks Diamond, where you been? Diamond says, I've been places. All of a sudden, the guy's phone rang because Diamond is pulling out this, I don't know if it was a knife or whatever, one of those tools for the barber, because Diamond's about to stab this dude. But when the guy's phone rings and he goes to grab his phone, he realizes that he's a cop. He sees a badge. So Diamond is like, oh shit, I'm glad I didn't pop off on him. This is a whole cop. The guy, once he gets off the phone, he asks Diamond for a haircut, and Diamond was like, listen, we close right now. Whenever we open back up, I have no problem with, you know, you being one of my first customers. It'll actually even be on the house. The cop tells him, welcome back, after he's leaving, and Diamond was just like, who the hell is this, and how the hell he know, you know, welcome back? Like, what the hell is going on? Tommy is on his way to meet the drug dealer that he's supposed to be meeting. And all of a sudden, the drug dealer was like, listen, where the hell you at? You supposed to be here. Tommy was like, I'm on the route. Chill, bro. I'm on the way. But he notices 3 SUVs behind him. These 3 SUVs actually end up cornering him in. And Tommy tells the guy on the phone, look, let me hit you right back. They boxed him in. And it's the guy who was sitting in the back seat at the confrontation, you know, by the bar. And he goes, I told you to get up out of here. Let's roll. So Tommy gets in the car and they leave. No, I'm sorry. He gets in the car with Tommy at gunpoint and makes Tommy drive to an undisclosed location. When he gets there, he realizes he's at the Flint home. And Master Flint, I forget the man's name, the dad's name. But the dad basically says, you made an impact around here and you made one on me and my family. He was like, I don't really care for that. Tommy says, well, you know what? You're welcome for saving your son's life. Like, at the end of the day, what the hell am I here for? I'm not dead yet, so apparently there's a reason you have me here. What's T? So the man goes, listen, I saw you put out the fires. You did what you got to do, but you got to leave. Like, you can't stay around here. I'm telling you right now, for your own good, you got to get up out of here. You have to leave. Tommy goes, all right, bet. But he ends up giving him the drugs that he stole from Vic and Diamond's brother. And I'm going to learn his name, so don't kill me. But he ends up giving him back the drugs. And Daddy Flint was like, yeah, you got to go. You got to go. You got to get up out of here. Vic pulls up, and he was just like, oh, what's he doing here? And the dad was like, getting up out of here. He can't stay here. He got to go. So Tommy ends up leaving. He's on his way and said that he was going to go on his way, get back to the drug dealer dude. But he thought about it, and the guy was like, because you work for me. And Tommy was like, I don't have no boss. I don't work for nobody. You know what? Matter of fact, it's a change of plans. I ain't dealing with you. I think I'm going to stick around Chicago for a little while. So then the episode goes off. Listen, let me tell you, I am in love with this series. And we only at the first doggone episode. I think that it's going to be great. I think that there's a lot that's going to happen. Hopefully Tommy falls in love with the girl Claudia. Hopefully he finds that he has a whole huge family out there in Chicago. Like, I just think it's going to be good. It's going to be great. Shout out to 50 Courtney Kemp and all those people that are behind the scenes on this. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Power Book 4 Force, aka Tommy Egan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you hoes later. Bye.